afternoon to the Des Moines Amplified audience. My name is Lee McQueen, and I'm a new host of a new show. And so I've just been tutored on the air, and hopefully you learned right along with me of how to use about 5 or 6 cameras and several cameras and keyboard or monitors and keyboards and different things like that. And so this is also my first time being on the air. I'm actually a writer, and that means I'm more familiar with the written word rather than the spoken word. But there is a reason why I did decide to go on the air, and that's because there are people who are out there more familiar or more engaged with the spoken word than the written word. And so if I can't reach people one way, then I want to make sure that I open up an avenue to reach people another way. The reason being is I want to discuss what I call Blue.Green.Fusion, and that's the title of the show. It's Blue.Green.Fusion, and the name, I named it that for a specific reason. I want to discuss the concept of blue-collar jobs for a green-collar economy, or a green economy driven by green energy. And that's not a new concept. It's been in the news a lot frequently lately, actually. And I wanted to even cast my vote for that and delineate my interest in that proposition. And so that's the goal of Blue-Green Fusion. The goal of the show is to present news and information about current issues that tie labor and the economy to renewable energy, specifically community-wide access to renewable energy. Right now, for quite a few people, renewable energy is just a notion, whereas for others, it's actually the reality, a necessity. And this is because wherever you might live in the United States, most of us are somewhere near transmission lines. If we're living in a city, either small to mid-sized, even rural areas have been electrified and tied to the grid. But there are still quite a few areas in the United States that are pretty remote. Either they're high on the mountaintops, or they're inaccessible because they're deep in the woods, or for some reason they're just living areas are located where it's not convenient or not cost effective to be tied to the grid. And so you do have those folks who are self-sustaining or living off the grid, or maybe have found a way to provide their own energy resources. But anyway, that's the idea of the show, and I can even speak for my own experience. I'm not what you call a journeyman or an electrician or someone who picks up tools and climbs on a roof to make installations. I'm what you might call a policy wonk. I'm a writer by trade. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I write and I research for those that do go on the roof if they don't have time or the inclination, or for whatever reason, while they're on that roof, they need someone like me manning the shop and writing about what they do and creating press releases and website content. That's where I come in. So anyway, those are the initial goals for Blue.Green.Fusion. And I wanted to invite the public, the viewers of the show, people who have interest or want to know more, whether you're a professional in the field, whether you're a policy wonk yourself, or whether you have an opposing point of view or information that I haven't provided, or maybe that you have a different perspective. Definitely, I invite the public to either chat in, to write in their thoughts, to Skype in. Although I'm not chatting or Skyping today, since I'm in learning mode, please keep in mind, you can take notes if you want to, for me next week, and maybe we can discuss some of the issues that came up in this show, or if you think of any in the meantime, we can, once I'm up to speed, we can talk more in depth about that next week. But anyway, I do invite the public in to share their own narrative or opinion or fact-filled experience of issues surrounding labor, the economy, community-wide energy access to renewable fuels. So chat or phone call or by Skype, or even more fun, if you feel inclined to do an in-person visit with me next week. My contact information is on the Des Moines Amplified website. So if you go through that and send me a message, please do. I'm definitely interested in what you have to say or what you wish to contribute to the overall narrative of renewable energy. Its success, its access, and its penetration into the Des Moines area, the local area here in Des Moines, or statewide throughout Iowa, or even the Midwest. That's basically what I'm very much interested in. Today's discussion is probably going to focus more on wind energy, and there's a reason behind that too as well. I've written a renewable energy suspense novel. It's called Solara Sun. It's available on Amazon, and it's also available on my website, which is www.mcqueenpress.com. And I self-published it, and it focuses on a fictional solar construction company called Solara. So it's Solara Solar Construction, and it documents their experience with increasing market share for solar and wind. And so I finished the book. It's about 318 pages. And I got to the end and I said, there's still more to the story to be told. And so, though it wasn't my intention, I decided that the first book focused more on solar, and then the second book, which would be the sequel, will likely focus more on wind energy and wind turbine manufacturing and chaos in the Midwest. So I think that should be fun. But anyway, I've been doing a lot of research lately on wind energy and wind turbine manufacturing. And so likely this discussion, the initial discussion for the show, will center on that. So anyway, policymakers in the community, politicians and local, state, and federal government, professionals who work in energy and environment, I'm definitely interested in hearing from you. The public at large, too, as well. Persons who have interest in renewable energy, I definitely welcome your thoughts. Next week. So the idea for Blue.Green.Fusion is to increase the public discussion and awareness of the barriers to community-wide renewable energy access, whether it's tax codes and ordinances or resistance from utility companies, or whether it's due to a lack of research and development into the technology. I'm trying to figure out the answer to myself of why every household in Des Moines, in the Des Moines area, and in Iowa, with our sun and our wind and our other possibilities that we have here, what would be the answer to make that happen? And if someone has an idea, please write in or send me an email or some kind of communication. I definitely want to, share that with the public to see if we can get a good discussion going, and through that find an answer.